I am Spectre Detector. Welcome to my evil the stranger. The stranger. I am Spectre Detector. Stranger. I am Spectre Detector. Stranger. I am Spectre Detector. Stranger. Often, I meet with genuine folk who report strange paranormal incidences concerning themselves or someone they know of, especially around these mystical hotspots dotting the leafy suburbs of South Wales. Ghosts, entities, spirits, demons, guardian angels? What a load of bullshit, some may say. Such folks swear such people are crazy discussing such subjects, and they should be burned at the stake or locked up for talking such nonsense. And back in the day they certainly would be. For them, everything is black and white, and they have never experienced paranormal incidences that they can think of. And who is Spectre Detector to contend them? Tonight, you're about to hear something really spooky. So turn down the lights, make yourself comfortable, and open your mind wide, if you will. And do take close consideration for the strange experience I'm about to share. The eerie incident concerned me and a beautiful young lady with Mediterranean hereditary pumping through her wild veins. I had a rocky relationship with her around 20 years ago. She had long raven hair and striking green eyes, so freakishly beautiful. I had no other option but to be addicted to a charming aura. At the time, she had to move home, and I helped her with the transition. The creepy flat was situated on the top floor in a spacious conversion of a Victorian-style three-storey domain dating back to the mid-18th century, near the bustling centre of Cardiff. On unlocking the front door and entering her abode, a rancid odour made us gag and knocked us for six. More like it reeked of death, even though the landlord decorated the flat recently. On walking through the dwelling, a highly charged atmosphere lingered throughout the place. On the longest wall inside the bedroom was a built-in cupboard running the entire length. 6 sliding doors covered the space and looked tacky, cedar wood stained, cheap and out of place. To our dismay, though, mostly in the wee witching hours, each door would tremble in turn and go to the next door, ever so gently, back and forth, and our eyes would follow diligently the spooky vibrations. As you can imagine, this really freaked my lady out, that coupled with a constant gagging smell. And no, there wasn't a road carrying heavy traffic nearby or even juddering central heating pipes coming loose that would cause the vibrating problem. Upon my regular stays there, my lady was on her knees most of the time, and no, it's not what you think. My woman spent much time scrubbing the floors and cleaning cupboards in every room. I was even thinking of getting her a set of knee pads for protection. I have to get rid of that dreadful odour, she would chant, hair up in a messy bun tethered in a cherry-coloured ribbon with a flick of raven fringe falling over a single green eye. She even watched the walls and woodwork ready for another lick of fresh paint. My girlfriend worked relentlessly, and the amount of disinfectant used was phenomenal. Unfortunately, the gagging smell remained throughout her stay there. Besides the unbearable smell, the entire abode emanated an eerie feeling, a reminiscence of a terrible accident, maybe. As for the enormous walk-in cupboard confronting us inside the adequate-sized living room, what was behind the tacky wooden door beheld some sad mystery, and we discovered the horrible truth later on. The one night we settled down in the lounge, cuddled up on a set to a dreadful smoking habit, the small window just to our right was slightly ajar. Winter breezes disturbed the curtains and caused the cupboard door to bump against the frame each time cold winds howled through. Not wanting to miss the programme, my girlfriend got up from the sofa to shut the cupboard door. She stood there and stared into the cupboard's dark, empty space, gawping at the large rust-coloured mark in the middle of the back wall, about the size of a basketball it was. I never noticed that stain earlier, she confessed. Oh! Suddenly she squealed, complaining of a strange sensation when she grabbed hold of the brass handle. Something does not feel right, she moaned. Sit down, Gretel, I said, getting up out of inquisitiveness to complete the easy task for her. I put my hand on the cold metal handle but could not feel anything unusual, and I could not even see the mysterious rusty stain she complained about. So I slammed the door closed really tight. Clunk! The brass catch embedded itself into its brass host just for confirmation of its closure. The creepy noise echoed throughout the flat. I then switched off the lights and joined my lady on the sofa. We sat in the dark, gawping at the TV. Then all of a sudden, clunk! Startled, both our heads darted towards the cupboard door. To our amazement, we witnessed the door creaking wide open all on its own. And the strangest part, much to our amazement, the confirmation of the spirit was surely imminent when we both witnessed the door handle uncannily twisting just before the cupboard door swung open. An invisible hand forced a handle into operation, there's no doubt about it. It wasn't long before my lady talked to a neighbour who was living in a flat below. Yes, old Tom was independent and he loved his DIY. He had no family to help him though, the gently spoken old lady said in a trembling voice. The last time I spoke to Tom, or even saw him, a glassy tear welled within her wrinkly eyes as she spoke, he told me he was putting up shelves inside the walk-in cupboard in the lounge. Unfortunately, it seemed he drilled and screwed one of the metal angle brackets into the back wall, and then left the cupboard to get the other bracket to fix so we could mount the wooden shelf onto. But on entering the cupboard, it seemed the poor sod tripped over the door edging. As you can imagine, Tom went unnoticed for weeks on end, and I complained of the terrible smell, which seemed to be emanating through my ceiling, and the strange banging noises emitted many evenings, as if someone was actually slamming a door. The landlord eventually broke in, and he discovered poor Tom in the cupboard. He was impaled onto the metal bracket which had spiked directly through his skull. "Oh dear," said my girlfriend. "That would certainly count for the rancid smell and the nasty bloodstain on the back wall, as well as the cupboard door mysteriously unlocking on its own accord, if you believe in such things." So, deep in the wee hours, do you wake some night, startled, petrified, only to suffer the same kind of spooky experience? You know what I mean. Suddenly your cupboard door mysteriously swings wide open for no apparent reason, only to reveal an icy cold empty space, blacker than the darkest of nights. Of course there is no one present, but now you know there is a valid reason why such paranormal incidences may occur. Something or someone is trying to tell you of their torment. Maybe you should be more diligent and seek to take extra notice next time, because who knows what horrific mystery has taken possession of your dwelling previously to you moving in, especially around these mystical hotspots dotting Cardiff and its leafy surroundings. Now get yourself a sturdy brass lock and bolt that cupboard door down really tight.